Hello friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch, hip cats, groovy chicks, and finger poppin' daddies. You know, people have asked me, they say, how do you play those tenths in your left hand, that spread in your left hand? My hands are too small, I can't play that. So I have a special technique that I call the jump technique. I'm going to show you that this evening and how to use it in a tune. And you know, people also ask me, said, why are you always wearing shades? You know, there they are off. So there you are. So here we go with tenths, how to play them and how to make your playing and your sound big. Here we go. People write to me all the time and they say, I can't play a tenth in my left hand. I see you're doing that, or they're trying to read or learn my arrangements or watch my videos, and they see me playing a tenth. They say, I can't play a tenth. My hands are too small. Well, I use a special technique to play a tenth. And actually, I was on a boat cruise once playing a gig, and Harold Mayberg came on from New York, and he was able to play not only a tenth, but he could play an 11th, a 12th, and a 13th. He could play that, stretch that much in his hand, have big hands. And some of you out there probably do, and you can do this easily, but that's a tenth right there. Now, if you just play tenths in the scale of C, they would sound like this. Now it's important to understand that this is a major tenth. In order to make it a minor tenth, you have to lower the tenth. In other words, this is the same as a third, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps to make a major. 1, 2, 3 to make a minor. So you have a major tenth and you have a minor tenth. Now if we go up the C scale, it's the same as going up in chords. You know, you could just go like this, triad: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and then B diminished, which is also minor. So there's 3 major chords and 4 minor chords. So you're going to, same thing, formula for the tenths. Major tenth, C major 10, D minor 10, E minor 10, F major 10, G major 10, A minor 10, B minor 10, C. Now you see it's a very full sound because you're playing the root and the third an octave higher instead of just like this. Now you can add notes to that. You can add a major 7th or a dominant 7th, you know, or a 6th. You can add another note, or a 5th even. Here's adding the 5th. You notice I'm rolling it. So that's in a way an arpeggiated tenth. And I'm sure you can do that in this way. If you hold the pedal down, let's start with the simpler one. If you hold the pedal down and do the jump technique, I call it, I'm playing the bass note and jumping up, you know, jumping up to the 10th here, like that. And you're getting pretty much the same effect as this. Like, it's a little different, but it's getting the same effect harmonically. Like that is just as good as that. You know, let's compare the difference. Now let's do it this way. See, I missed one note there, but you see how it's rhythmically even more interesting than just this. You have this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to count it. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. You want to start out very slowly. Now the pedal comes down, pedal down, release pedal for the next chord, hold it down, release pedal. Well, that's a really good exercise. Now you can try it in a different key and get more versatile with it, like this. We'll try it from F now. Remember, you got a B flat in there now. Now you're going to B flat. This one's hard, right? See, I can't reach that. I have to roll it. Or G, you could do G. This one's harder. This one's harder. Okay, so there you have your basic broken tenths exercise to start with. Now I'll show you a second one. So you can see that playing tenths involves really knowing your scale and knowing, knowing what's the next note. It's easy in C because it just goes right up the white notes. But when you get into more difficult keys, you're going to have to really know those scales to play tenths. So let's just go with C now, so you can at least master the key of C, and I'll show you a tune to apply it to. It'll make it really kind of fun to play. But anyway, so we have the tenth, just a simple root and tenth like that. So now we can add another note with the index finger, and it can be probably the first one you would try to add would be the fifth, like that. So now try this as an exercise. I'm holding the pedal down now so that these notes are retained. In other words, they all blend. Okay, like this. Now you're going to find that this exercise is helpful in a lot of ways for playing piano, because you're going to be using it for a variety of songs in ballads and so on. You're going it can be used in a variety of ways, but it's very practical for you to learn this technique. So now the root, fifth, and tenth again. Or you can do it, if you have the stretch, you can do it like this. So I can do, let's see, arpeggiating them are broken. I buried it there. Now, okay, so now the next one might be to, instead of the fifth, let's use the seventh. Or we could use the major seventh. Well, the dominant seventh is a little easier, but we'll do this. There's the dominant seventh there. Now, that's a minor seventh. This is a minor seventh. Or maybe even, that's a sixth, but now maybe a major seventh. Here's a dominant seventh, minor seventh. Diminished and get. It's fun making these videos. Sometime I should just have someone film the process of doing it, so you'll see all the interruptions that happen. The cat meows for his dinner, the phone rings, you make a mistake when you're playing, but usually even more than that, the camera dies out on you, the battery dies, and you have to recharge the battery. Or all of a sudden your SD card gets full and you get a message, so you've put on this great, explanation of things, and it's totally wasted. So you have to start all over again. Anyway, that's part of the fun part of all of this, as you know. I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you, giving you information. Anyway, so if we do the 10th, now we can add another note. And we can follow the scale tone sevenths like this. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7, B half diminished 7, C major 7. That's true for all scales now. Same for F. Major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major, and so on. So we can add the second note by clarifying. In tenths, we're not clarifying that that's a major 7. That's just a triad, really. But here, adding the major 7, which is quite a stretch, you would have to jump it like that. Hold it with the pedal, probably. So I can do that. Some reason I can do that for between that finger and that. I can't do it. It's hard in my right hand because of bent fingers, but I can do that. I can do the major 7 like that, and I'm holding it down with the pedal, so you get the full sound of the chord. It's very rich. Now the minor 7th on the 2 chord, the D minor 7 there, root 7th 3rd or 10th, E minor chord, root 7th 3rd. So let's say that the root, the 7th, in this case it's a flat 7, and the 3rd, in this case it's a minor 3rd, or the 10th, is most important thing to play in terms of getting the full sound of a chord. F major 7, major 7, major 3rd, right? Now the G is dominant. 5 chord is always dominant, so you can have the dominant 7 there, and the major 3rd. On the sixth chord is going to be minor 7, so you have the flatted 7 or the minor 7 interval there and the minor third there, and then the half diminished on the B has the minor 7th and the third there. You could also play the flat 5 like this. It's probably a little better sounding. The whole spread of it. Now, one of the things that you can do with this technique that's really fun is work it up in which you separate the bass note and the 2 notes, or 3, whatever you decide to use. We just use 2 for now, into bass note, chord, or bass note, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You can create rhythm that way. See? So we have. Okay, so now I'm going to try this out on the song "Don't Blame Me." It's a good song to try it out in because it has a lot of 2-5-1s or 2-5s, and it's the key of C, so it's easy, right? So. First chord is C, so I'm going to go like that, Now I'm just going to give it the tenths and see what that sounds like. Let's build from just 3 notes: melody note, root, and 10th. So you're going to see that even that amount of, that kind of voicing can sound big. I'm not playing all tenths. I'm alternating. 10th, 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 root and 7th, root and 10th, root and 7th, root and 10th, root and 7th, root and 10th. So it alternates, on the cycle. This is a cycle. It's like a C to F minor or B flat to E minor to A7 to D minor 7 to G. In other words, going through a cycle of fifths. If you were just doing parallel or stepwise, you'd be doing this. Or chromatic, you'd be doing this. Which is kind of hard, actually. Or you'd be doing sevenths, like that. So now let's try it with 3 notes. So we're going to add another harmony note in here. That's nicer. You can do it up here. Feel like that sound better than the lower one. Or it could be this. That's kind of hard, that one there, but let's do this one. Let's do this one. Then go to here. There. Use the 10th there. Tenths. All tenths now. Here's a 7th. Oh, here's a 10th. Now, supposing I played these in rhythm, it would sound like this. Let's do it. So on. You see, now I can add another harmony note in the right hand. I'll keep building the sound, from the smallest sound like this, or the smallest would probably be this, like your basic triads. With some inversions, it'll be like that. So now we'll build them in this way now, adding another note over here. Then maybe a melodic fill. let's add 3 notes. So now we're going to end up with 5 notes, which is the best, probably the best sound, or even 6. So like, if it's 5, like it's like that. If it's 6 notes, then it'll be this. Or it could be this. Whatever you like. That's pretty rich. Let's go to the second ending. Now let's do the bridge. So on. Okay, I'm going to give you one more interesting thing to do with this particular exercise, and then just apply it to a blues. We're going to use a C blues, and we're going to use a C7 like that, dominant 7, flat 7, third, with approaching it from a half step below like this. It's very funky. Put in a blues scale on the top. And C, here we go. Definitely down here. To the G. You know, you can practice this very slowly. You start like maybe this. And that's one of the basic rules of learning how to play piano, is that you start out very slow. Whatever you're practicing, you start out with it very slow and feel the beat, feel the count. You know, before you even feel the beat and feel the count, just get the notes down in your hands. You know, you have to work at your left hand, getting that coordinated, and then before you can add the right hand. And that's all part of learning how to play the piano. And I will tell you honestly, learning to play piano is the best thing you could ever do, because there's no instrument quite like it. You can be a one-man band, you can play solo. It can be a marvelous experience to be able to play piano and play it for your friends or your family and so on. Get sing-alongs happening, you know, playing piano bars. There's so many things you can do on a piano that you can't do on any other instrument. So like, it's more challenging in a lot of ways, but it's also so rewarding. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch, and thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to play tenths using the jump technique. I hope it will help you. And until next time, I'll say swing loose. And you know, please stay safe, stay well, and spread kindness. That's so important during this time in our lives. You know, till next time, I'll say, hey, I'll see you around the block. Bye-bye.